Hey, it's Farhan Rahman here. It is Saturday, the 31st of May, 2025, about 2:15 in the afternoon. Um, so I just got a delivery of maple syrup. Let's see, there we go. You can see the bottles there. And I just opened one up and had a bit of a swig. You can see I've drunk a little bit. It is so sweet, so sweet. So, if you're on the sugar diet, sugar fasting, and you're wondering, can I have maple syrup? Yes, you can. So, maple syrup is one of those natural sugars that comes from a tree. So basically, they tap a tree, the maple tree, where it's maple syrup, and basically from the maple tree, like I think. I don't quite understand all of it. I'm still kind of learning about it, but basically, you have like different colors of sugar depending on different times of when the syrup is collected from the tree. So they tap these trees and then they kind of drain this syrup out of the trees, which basically it's the sugars from the soil being pushed up the tree to kind of help the leaves and branches grow and kind of go from winter to spring where the leaves have all dropped off and now they're growing back up again. And so the tree's kind of passing this nutrition from the soil up through the tree to the leaves and stuff so that then they can grow the leaves and the branches. So now this is a natural sugar which it occurs in nature in the trees. It gets tapped from the tree and then basically it gets boiled and reduced and then basically it becomes maple syrup. And so, like on the sugar diet, like if you're finding it challenging to get enough sugar in or you're struggling with energy levels, one thing you might want to consider is introducing maple syrup because it's a very concentrated form of sugar. It's not quite the same as table sugar. It is in a liquid form, so and like table sugar or like normal white refined sugar, it comes from usually beets or sugar cane. And this one's coming from trees, which again is another plant. So, all sugar comes from plants, right? And so the thing is, right, because it's so concentrated, like hopefully, like I'm testing it out, right? So, but my working hypothesis is that if you are feeling low or lethargic or tired, and taking lots of sugar helps, well, if you don't have spoonfuls of sugar that you can mix into water and drink, then maybe a spoon of honey or a shot of maple syrup might be a good alternative. So in this instance, I've gotten really dark, like the very dark maple syrup, which basically is kind of the later stages of the harvesting. So, like the very early stages is kind of more lighter honey, lighter syrup. And so you have kind of the lighter, more less intense flavors of maple syrup. And the lighter ones, like, and again, this is just my theory. I need to look into it more, but like, I'm just hypothesizing because I'm one of those people, like, I'll figure it out along the way. I kind of had an idea. I thought, let's try it. I don't have as much energy as I would like to have. And, doing the sugar diet, eating lots of fruit, eating honey, and like, I haven't started putting spoonfuls of sugar in water yet. But again, that's not because I'm not 100% sure if I want to do it or not, but also because I'm like, I have to be practical about like doing stuff that I can sustainably do, and scooping a whole bunch of sugar into water isn't necessarily the easiest thing for me right now, given I'm bedbound most of the day and I have to kind of think about what's accessible for me. And also, like, I drink water, like, I filter it and then like I expose it to different like technologies to charge it and whatnot. So I kind of have a whole water process as it is. Like I don't want to add more stuff to what I do to my water right now, to be honest. I think it's enough just to get enough water into me. That's a whole other conversation. I won't even go into that right now. Don't even get me started on what I do with my water. Like you'd probably think I'm crazy, but anyway, I notice a difference, so I do it. So when it comes to getting more sugars in, I thought, okay, well, I've got honey, but like eating spoonfuls of honey is like, not really that big of a fan. I have done it and I do it plenty of times when I need to, but I thought, like, it's not going to be enough. Like, because I know when I have honey, like, I know it does help. But it kind of feels like it's just not enough of a kick. And I do still have it, and I'll like say on rice cakes or just eat it by the spoonful, or that I do have in water, but only because it goes with my honey, lemon, sorry. First thing in the morning, I have a lemon water honey every morning as part of my kind of daily protocols. Again, to flush the kidneys after waking up straight away, and then kind of helping the body detoxify itself and stuff. So anyway, I thought maple syrup could be like a good alternative, right? Because like concentrated sugar, and as much as I'm a fan for like having candy and sugar and whatnot, personally, I'm like a little biased. I still have that whole, well, is it natural? Is it like the way nature intended? And it's like, well, this is natural. Like, this is exactly how nature intended. And don't get me wrong, like, eating white refined sugar is also natural, and it comes from plants, and chocolates and candies and all of that stuff as well is natural as well. But, like, the sweetness, like, it's a bit much for me. Like, I'm not a big chocolate fan as it is. And, like, if I do eat chocolate, like, I prefer dark chocolate. Like, like, I'll eat cacao nibs. Like, that's how hardcore I am, right? I'll have like the proper dark, like 100% pure cacao, which is really, really bitter. But like, I don't know, like I like that taste. I like bitter things. So anyway, I thought, let's try, because like I just can't get enough bananas into me. Like it's like I've had one. I was like 4 days ago I was able to have four, and then now it's like I'm not like having one at a time, and then I need to take a break. It's like I can't eat any more banana right now. Oh no, it's just a bit much. So I thought, okay, what else could I do? So I have watermelon, I have mangoes, I have oranges, grapes, apples, all sorts of other fruit. But like sometimes it's like you really don't want to eat. You just want a bit of a rush. You just need a bit of energy, right? You just want a bit of a kick. So I remember listening to, I think it was, I think his name is Jurian Ryder. I think that's it, Jurian Ryder. I'll try to find the video. I think it was Mark Smelly Belly was interviewing Jurian Ryder, and Jurian Ryder mentioned something about it was like ambulance service people that he coaches, and how when they kind of arrive at a scene of an accident, or if he's the first responder, like that arrives somewhere, like he's a cyclist, and so if there's been an accident or something, he takes a swig of maple syrup to kind of, like a swig of sugar to kind of basically help, what's the word, sedate the brain, or like just calm down in a stressful situation, basically, like to help manage the stress, basically. Right, so I was like, oh, that's a good idea. A swig of maple syrup, like at a high stressful situation. Ooh. I mean, lying in a bed, there's not much high stressful situations I go through, right? Like I don't really have a choice in the matter. I maybe get mail or watch stuff on the internet, but other than that, or like stream stuff. But like other than that, so anyways, I thought, okay, maple syrup, like that could be a really good kind of adjunct contribution to when I need a quick fix, right? So I need some sugar. I don't want to eat too much in terms of volume of food, but I want to get a concentrated dose of sugar. And I maybe don't have time to like, spoonful, like mix a whole bunch of spoonfuls of sugar into some water and stuff. So, and yes, like when I get planned and organized, maybe I'll create sachets and just like instant pour things into the bottles of water I have. But like right now, I'm just not there yet. So anyways, I went ahead and just like ordered online and got it delivered today, this morning. And so like I've already had a bit of a swig just to taste it, and I was like, oh my God. I don't know why, but it just tastes so sweet. It's like, oh, this is sort of disgusting, but at the same time, I'm like, but it's gonna help, right? There's health benefits, right? The things we do in the name of experimenting for our health and well-being, right? I'll try anything once. No, I lie. I'll try it a few times. I'll give it a few months and then make decisions after that fact, right? So anyway, my working theory is that when it's a darker color sap, then basically there's more nutrients in it because it's like, richer color. So therefore there's more stuff in it, right? And so therefore, like, it's like the healthier version of maple syrup. Like, I know, right? Like, it's just maple syrup. It can't make that much difference. It probably doesn't, but I'm just like, if it's the most concentrated form and it's got like like the sugar content is probably the same between all the different colors, but like the flavor profile is probably different. And like, I was hoping that like the darker color might be less sweet, but it is so sweet. Like, I couldn't even like, I might try like a lighter color just to see like the difference in taste. Because I've had maple syrup before, and like it's usually this dark color anyway, so I thought that's just the normal color of maple syrup, right? But then it's like, no, there's light and amber and gold and dark and very dark, and I was like, oh, okay, well, let's just go with very dark, right? Um, might regret that decision. I mean, I'm gonna drink it. Like, it's not like if I get something for my health and I'm gonna try it, then I'll go all in, right? So, anyways, maple syrup could be a good adjunct if you want to get like a concentrated shot of sugar, and you just like you're not in a position to be able to eat lots and lots of fruit all the time, or you can't just like keep putting sugar in water, or like it's just not easy, or I don't know, like it's an idea, right? Like, how many of us really know what exactly is happening? And at the end of the day, does it really matter? If we get results, if we're getting success, if we're going in the right direction, then really kind of that's what really matters, right? So I realize as a I've been diagnosed as a type 2 diabetic because of my blood sugars. And like my blood test results, which I will be having again in about a month now, because I had one just over a month or 2 months ago, I think. And so I got the blood work back, and I had made a drop, so the doctor was happy for me to continue with the process I'm following and kind of the diet protocols and stuff I'm following. And then I was originally using the protocols from the masteringdiabetes.org website and the book, and Robbie and Cyrus have done an amazing job putting so much information out there about how they've helped so many people reverse diabetes on a whole food plant-based diet, low-fat whole food plant-based diet, might I add. And so, like, I know that the low-fat thing works, and even, I mean, I was doing Walter Kempner's diet, like, back in 2012, I think that's, yeah, around that time, and so I did that for, like, a good solid 6-8 months, and I have to admit, it was difficult. Like, the jam, the rice, like, I was just trying whatever I could to, like, sustain it, and honestly, it was a challenge, and I don't know if it made a difference health-wise. I don't know if I lost weight. I didn't get slim, right? Like, I'm still on that journey. But yeah, I have fond memories of that time. Like, I remember getting all the books. Like, I think I bought 5 or 6 books to learn about the rice diet and what was advocated, and like what Walter Kempner did and all of his protocols and stuff. And I kind of really looked into it, found what I could on YouTube and what have you. And so, like, kind of back then I was kind of trying versions of like, sugar starch diet. But here, really, I think the key is keep the fat out as much as you can. And again, so I measure myself with one of these devices. It's called a Healbee, right? So it's from a company called Gobe. So HEALBE, from a company called GOBE. And what it does is it measures the consumption of fat, proteins, and carbohydrates, and it measures the calories that your body's actually digesting. Because it measures the differences between the fluid and the blood cell. Like, I don't quite understand the science. They have sensors, the sensors are on the skin, they measure stuff. That measurement changes over time as you're digesting different things. And they've been able to optimize it to the point where then it can tell what's being digested and what rate and how long and what have you. So I wear that continuously, and so it shows me kind of peaks and troughs in what's being consumed as well as what's being burnt and used. So I have both numbers. I have the numbers of like my calorie usage as well as of my calorie digestion, right? And what's really interesting is since I've been on a no-fat, low-fat diet, I basically have like 1 or 2 peaks. Like, I have a few peaks that are pronounced, and then it basically kind of just comes back down again, and then it kind of just stays that way throughout the rest of the day and overnight. When like the one, and I only noted this because like I saw it a couple of days ago. Sorry, I know this isn't quite about maple syrup, but I figure if you're on the sugar diet stuff, then you're probably interested in this sort of thing as well. And basically, like, on one day, I basically deliberately ate some fat, and literally the next day, my sort of digestion, like in terms of the calories coming in, it went up, down, up, down, up, down, down throughout the day. Even though I wasn't eating like throughout the day, but because I'd eaten fat in the evening before, the following day, I then got like all these spikes throughout the day. And like I was eating pretty much the same as I've always been eating, like for the days before as well. It's not like I suddenly started snacking like 10 times in the day. Like I'm one of the like, and my eating style, I'm a bit of a grazer. Like I have like lemon water honey first thing when I wake up, then I have celery juice when I have it available, and then after that, like I'll basically have fruit. So either watermelon, apples, bananas. I was at one point like starting my days like directly with my main meal, so I'd have like a salad, followed with like some rice or potatoes or vegetables, and or lentils. But now since kind of, getting on the sugar diet bandwagon, I'm sort of like, let's just test it with more fruit, because actually I do feel better when I have fruit first thing. And I don't always get the same fruits every day. So some days it might be watermelon or mango or banana or apple. But I'm trying really consciously to kind of get more fruit in every morning and every day, because I think when I started doing the Mastering Diabetes protocol, like in the first 2 weeks, I ended up losing almost like 3 to 4 kg a week, which I think is about 8 to 10 pounds, I think, basically per week, which was pretty cool. I've documented it on Instagram somewhere. And I think it's on one of my other YouTube videos as well. I was doing like a bit of a retro recap of like the first month or so. But basically, like the maple syrup, I think, is like a really good adjunct to like use it in those moments when you just need a spike. Because I often find, especially later in the day, like I don't really want to eat, but I feel really lethargic and I need to like get some energy into me, even just to eat. Like, so being bedbound and being overweight, like, just to be clear, I'm not bedbound because I'm overweight. Like, I was overweight before I became bedbound, and I was fully mobile and active, and like I could do 2 hours in the gym and everything. Like, my weight never affected my ability to move. There's something else that just caused me to get really extreme fatigue and tiredness, and I physically couldn't lift myself. I was that exhausted, like I didn't have the strength, and I don't know if it was mental or emotional or physical, but like there was something wrong and the doctors couldn't find what. But like, it's been 5 years and I'm slowly figuring it out for myself what that solution needs to be, because like can't rely on doctors with tests that they don't really know what's happening and they can't figure it out for themselves. And like honestly, I just like gave up trying to get a doctor's answer to anything. So anyways, I did at one point use black molasses as well. So black molasses, a spoon of black molasses in water, back when I thought back when I needed to address an iron deficiency. So I did have that as well, and I'm not sure, but I think black molasses is also similar to the maple syrup in terms of it's from a tree origin. But yeah, maple syrup, it seems convenient. It's in a small jar, and I'm hoping it'll help with like just mentally and physically, like when I'm feeling a bit low or tired or down or need to concentrate, I can take just, a shot or two of it. And literally, I'm just drinking it straight out of the bottle right now. And like, I'm not going to start dirtying shot glasses every time I want to take some maple syrup. Like, I've had to clear off the rim, like there was a lid that was stuck on it, so I had to clear the glue off from that, because obviously I don't want to be eating glue. I don't want to be taking like cardboard or plastic or anything like that. So I've done my best to clear all that off, but I'm not sure if I'll get this brand again, but like I need to see how the other brands package their honey, their maple syrup, sorry, and like what the things like under the cap and stuff. Because I remember they didn't used to do that before, but maybe there's a different brand. Anyways, so sorry, this has gone on a bit, but yeah, basically maple syrup, it's a concentrated form of sugar. It comes from trees, and if you go for like the darker color, I think it has a stronger taste. If you go for a lighter color, it might be a bit more milder. And how to use it, like use as much as you want, as often as you want, as frequently as you want, right? Because the whole point of the sugar diet is like, you're having sugar. It's not about the calories, it's about fueling yourself, right? It's about giving the glucose that your liver needs, giving the glucose that your muscles need, giving the glucose that your cells need. I think there's more to it than just that. I think the sugar that we consume, it gets used by the cells for more than just glucose. Like, I'm going to do a whole other set of videos around that stuff. But like, you know, the sugar is used to communicate between cells, right? Stepping into the world of glycobiology and glycans and, you know, the sugar forms, the glycoproteins, the glycoforms, whatever they are, the structures that are between cells that communicate between cells. But that's a whole other story. So for now, just, yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to get so detailed, but just, yeah, maple syrup is a great, like, sugar as a whole, because, like, you know, it's a natural plant sugar, just like honey from bees and stuff. However, the benefit of it is, like, you can get it in small bottles, it's versatile, it's quick, it's easy to, like, just take a swig of. And let's see what difference it makes, because for me, I'm really hoping that in the evenings, especially when I get a bit tired and run down, before sleeping, if I get really, really tired, then I have to wait, I have to literally rest in the bed until I've got enough strength to, like, eat something. And so then I'll eat after I've rested and recovered a bit. And I'm hoping to, like, be able to, like, accelerate or, like, skip that step of needing to rest when I'm hungry or tired, and I kind of feel like I need to fuel up a bit before I kind of finally go to sleep. And again, I'm not doing it because I'm, like, hungry, but I'm doing it because I'm tired, right? Like, I'm lethargic, I'm physically run down. And so my assumption is, my working theory is that when we're not consuming enough calories, then our body doesn't have enough fuel. And when we don't have enough fuel, then we use up the reserves that we have. And then we have to wait until they get replenished. And they get replenished more slowly than they get used up. And so if we get an external source and we can, you know, swig a bunch of maple syrup and, like, give our body some quick sugars, then first of all, you know, hopefully, like, the brain gets priority, right? So then the brain gets a bit of a kick start. And then if the brain's in action, then, you know, obviously after that, everything else can kind of also get a bit of an acceleration. And so, especially when you're talking or communicating and you get tired or start rambling, then maybe it's time to have a bit of sugar and let the brain get a bit clearer. I don't know. I haven't fully tested it yet. This is my working hypothesis. Like I said, your individual results may vary, your mileage may vary, you have a different body composition, you have a different, like, life experience, you have a different physiology, a different genealogy, and all of those things factor into how you respond and what you respond to. And also, like, I have lymphedema, I have, like, my obesity, I have, like, this exhaustion fatigue that I'm working through and kind of recovering from, and I'm rebuilding my immune system. I'm taking vitamins, supplements, minerals, glycans, like, plant sterols. Like, I'm not doing just the fruit sugar diet. I'm doing that along with a whole bunch of other stuff that has also been working for me. And so I'm layering on more things that work for me as I get to more things that work for me. And so back in February, I had, sorry, I'll finish with this anecdote as well, just because it might be helpful for other people out there that might be experiencing this as well. So diabetic neuropathy, so where you've got pain in your feet, when, like, feet and legs, or hands even, I don't know. It might occur in other parts of the body as well. My experience was my feet and my legs, because I guess it's the furthest from the heart, but also I guess with lymphedema, maybe, I don't know. So anyway, I got to a point where I was having intense pain, and it was like burning sensation in the feet, and it was like walking on nails, or like walking on fire, or walking on broken glass. I have walked on fire and broken glass, by the way, just not nails. That one I haven't done yet, but trust me, the actual experience is nowhere near as bad as the pain that you experience when you have diabetic neuropathy. Because actually walking on fire and walking on broken glass was nowhere near as painful as, like, it actually has been when I was really, really in pain. And so, and even lying in bed, like, it's not like just contact with the floor, but, like, even just lying in bed, like, the pain can just flare up, right? And so to fix that, then I started taking some glycan supplements and that really helped. Like within a month, the pain went from like an 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10 to like a 2 out of 10. And like glycans are, like the combination of all the different 8 different sugars that the body uses for intracellular communication. And so what I've noticed is, since optimizing with more fruit, and like really it's become quite noticeable the difference. When I have a bunch of fruit, then like the pain becomes noticeably less. Like as in I can stand on my feet and it doesn't really hurt as much at all. It doesn't last forever. Like, I mean, the pain does still come back at times. And it's not like I've lost complete sensation, but I'm so optimistic and hopeful that maybe by increasing my sugar like consumption, maybe this will also help. So even though like, I mean, and really the bananas, bananas are really helping. And like, just when I have the bananas and then like I start walking, like especially on a empty stomach, right? Like, I mean, it's empty stomach after I've had my juices and stuff, liquids. But yeah, the bananas really help. And so one of my other theories is that like maybe that pain sensitivity, because I have noticed like some people talk about like, oh, they started sugar diet and then suddenly they had all this pain, and maybe it's like a temporary, like your body is healing through that. And so I'm hoping maybe there's a possibility that one of the side effects of having more sugar, more raw sugar sources will help accelerate the repair and recovery of that pain sensation in the feet. Because hopefully without the fat, the insulin sensitivity in the cells means that then the nutrients that are needed can get into all the cells that are needed to be repaired and recover. I don't know yet, it's just a theory, but like I'm gonna try seeing if taking the maple syrup also helps with minimizing pain or kind of reducing the pain sensation in the feet. But definitely eating a lot of fruit has really helped. And yeah, the weight loss and all of that stuff is really good as well, but like just having more energy, just being able to do stuff, just being able to think even, like, because honestly, I get so tired, like I can't even think straight, I can't even concentrate, I have to just like phase out, and even like watching a screen and stuff is too exhausting at times. And so the sugar is definitely helping. The maple syrup is definitely, I'm sure, going to make a positive difference. And if you want to try it out, or if you've been using maple syrup as a way of like giving yourself a bit of a boost, especially when you're feeling a bit low or need a bit of a quick shot of something, I would love to hear your experiences. If you leave your comments below about like your use of maple syrup, if you want to try it, if you want to kind of get some, I suggest where possible try to get organic, try to get it's like grade A maple syrup, and ideally like get something that you're comfortable with. So if you're not sure if you'll be able to tolerate the flavors, go for a lighter color, go for a lighter grade. If you're a bit more like me, it's like, I'm gonna do it no matter what. Like I bought it, I'm using the darn thing. I'm not wasting my money, right? And you want maybe like a more concentrated flavor, then go with the darker colors. I don't know about the nutritional profile, like I'll have to look into it a bit more. But at the moment, my working theory is that like it's a darker color, it must have more stuff in it. So I'm hoping that other stuff may also be beneficial. Don't know if it is or not, but just, that's the bro science, right? Anyways, I think this is long enough. I thought it was going to be a quick 5 minutes on maple syrup, but I think I diverged a bit. Thank you for watching. I really do appreciate that you took the time to listen to what I had to share. I really appreciate that you've participated in my journey, and I hope that I can reciprocate and support you in yours. Would love to hear if you have any questions or comments or thoughts or feedback. And as always, you do you, boo. All right, bye for now.